Hey everyone. Today isn't going to be the usual lighthearted kind of thing. This is something more serious because there's a lot that's been going on, and I'm going to be building while talking about it just because I know some people enjoy watching the building and it helps them, so I figured it might help people through this who don't normally like talking about this sort of thing. But, I currently live in the US, and there's been a lot going on. If you've seen the news about what's happening, then you're already aware that people stormed into the Congress building. And, well, here's the thing. Those were a bunch of Trump supporters. And that turned into a riot that the police and security didn't instantly stop. But back when there were so many Black Lives Matter protests, before the protesters even got near the gates of the Congress building, or any of these buildings for that matter, they were tear gassed, and these were peaceful protests filled with mostly those of color. And it just really ticks me off to see how those Trump supporters could get in so easily, but people who actually are being peaceful and we're doing things for a right cause. Now, I'm not saying that the Trump supporters don't have a right to support who they want. It's they took it too far. They shouldn't have broken in like that. That's the part that's wrong about it. And, well, okay, I'm sorry, let me collect my thoughts here for a minute. It's just, the people of color were pretty much immediately stopped nowhere near the Congress building. And these people who were trying to get the votes recounted because they thought there was something that happened with the votes, they just got in so easily and made a mess of everything with no respect at all for what was happening. And literally, what was happening yesterday was the recounting of the votes, because to my knowledge, what happens on the 6th of January after each election, Congress comes together and looks to see if anyone has any objections about the votes. And people were going to object, but, after that, I think some of them changed their minds just because those were Trump supporters. They kind of were their own downfall here, but that wasn't the problem. The problem was how easily they were let in compared to the Black Lives Matter movement. And these people became violent for no good reason, and Black Lives Matter were so peaceful, and I'm really pissed off about it. Black Lives Matter is a movement, not a trend, and literally, it just seems the government is against it, and that just makes me mad, I really just hate it. Honestly, at this point, I think I'm just gonna say it. I do not support the American government at this point. Their decisions are not my decisions. I don't support everything they do. Especially not when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement. And the things that have been going on when it comes to the LGBTQ community, and when it comes to laws, just makes me so mad, you know? I want everyone to hear me out on this, but can't we just have a place where everyone is equal? Can't we just have a world where no one is judged unless they're in a contest and being judged for the thing they're supposed to be judged on for the contest? Is that too much to ask? Skin color shouldn't matter. What you identify as should not determine whether you're a freak or not. Honestly, your gender identity does not make you a freak. Your religion isn't overly important shouldn't be overly important for how people view you. Just because you're part of a certain religion doesn't mean you're with everything that religion has. I mean, there's the whole thing about Christians. I don't know much about it because I don't know much about religion, but how they aren't that fond of the LGBTQ because of their interpretation of the Bible, which it's an interpretation. It's an old book. It's the way you interpret it, not the way it actually is. It's not what it actually means. And I want people to understand that ethnicity does not make someone a terrorist. Ethnicity doesn't make anyone less human. Gender doesn't mean you're not as strong. Gender is something biological and also an identity. The biological and identity are two separate things. So you were assigned one thing at birth, that's what your body is. But you identify as something else, and if you are trans, you have the choice to transition, and it is in fact qualified as a mental illness because it can hurt when you don't transition. So people have a right to these things, and I don't like the fact that a lot of people just judge others, bring them down because of what they are, because of who they are, something they can't control. You can't choose who to be. You are you. You can try to change, but unless you truly have the motivation to do that, it's not going to happen. Literally. It's just... you are you. And that's really all there is to it. No, not that. And no one should have the right to judge someone for being themselves. And I don't know what else to say. I just get so riled up about these things. I finally brought myself to bring these words together, but I just feel like I keep repeating the same thing over and over again, and I know I'm trying to make a point, but I always forget where I am with the point, which is why I try not to get involved with these things, but I can't just stay like that anymore. I have to do something. I just... I'm not going to judge someone for being themselves. I am not going to judge someone on something they can't control. Mental illness is real. Mental illness is a problem. But it's not your fault if you have one. It's just a part of you that just exists, and you can't help what you feel your gender is. You can't help who you're attracted to. You can't control who you fall in love with. You can't control what you like or dislike. You can try your best, but it doesn't always work, okay? Just want everyone to see that. I want a place where everyone is treated fairly. I want a place for everyone to be able to be themselves and just not have to fear about what will happen to them if someone doesn't like who they are. No one should have to fear for their life because they have a darker skin color. No one should fear for their life because they like someone. It's wrong. So, I'm making this video today, and I'm talking about how a lot of this stuff isn't right, and how everyone has a right to their opinion, I know, and I want to try to convince the people who don't believe the same things I do that everyone has a right to their belief. I want everyone to understand that. I want everyone to respect each other for who they are, and I want things to be okay. I want people to be able to live. I don't want them to feel they're not worth it. I want people to know they're worth it, to know that there's a reason to smile, to know that there's a reason for them to be alive, that they shouldn't feel like they need a reason for living. You are alive and it is beautiful. Isn't that enough? I know it may hurt, but life is beautiful. Life is a wonderful thing. There are so many people who are so unlucky to not be here anymore. But if you're watching this video, you still are here. We can make a difference. We can make this place where everyone is accepted, where everyone's opinion matters. So please just hang on until that place is made. Please. For those of you who don't want to keep going, please just hang on. I promise I can give you a reason to live. I'll do my best to make you want to live. 'Cause no one should feel that they're better off dead. No one should feel that everyone else would be better off if they were dead. 'Cause it's not true. No matter your ethnicity, race, your religion, gender identity, sexual identity. You are a wonderful person. You are you. You are unique. And the fact that you're you is all that matters. You shouldn't have any more reason to try and stay alive. You shouldn't need any more reason, because you are you. You are beautiful, okay? So, I'll continue building this house next time I have something to say like this. So, please take what I said into consideration. Please know that Black Lives Matter is not a trend, it's a movement, it's something important. I hate the fact that people judge like this, to the point of just... of hatred. It's wrong. So... tell someone they matter. No matter who they are. All lives matter, but Black lives have been treated poorly, and others have had it better than them, so it's the Black Lives Matter movement. Yes, everyone is important, but Black lives need to be seen. They need to be heard. They need their opinions to matter. They do matter. They have been put down for so long. It's not fair. Bye, everyone.